This is for 4th grade ELA text set, Exploring Identity. What are some things you imagine yourself doing when you grow up? Why can't it be fun to imagine the future? I'm going to read Imagine by Juan Felipe Herrera. He is the author of another book we've read, The Upside Down Boy. Imagine was written as a memoir. Remember, a memoir is a true account about an important part of the author's life. As I read, think about why Juan Felipe Herrera chose the word imagine for a title. If I picked caramel flowers as a child in the windy fields and whispered to their fuzzy faces, imagine. If I let tadpoles swim across my hands in the wavy creek, imagine. So what do you notice about the arrangement of the words on these pages? These pages read like a poem. Some words are repeated too. Why are that? What are they? If I jumped up high into my Papi's army truck and left our village of farm workers and waved adios to my amigos, imagine. So what is happening? What are some things the author is leaving behind? If I let the stars at night paint my blanket with milky light, with shapes of hungry birds while I sleep outside, imagine what you could do. So the end of this page is different from the others. Imagine what you could do. How does that phrase change the way you think about these first few pages? If I help Mama feed the hopping chickens and catch the crazy turkey in the front yard of our new village, imagine. If I walk through the evening forest at the top of a mountain with a silvery bucket to fetch water from the next town, imagine. If I move to the windy city of tall, bending buildings and skip to a new concrete school I'd never seen, imagine. If I open my classroom's wooden door, not knowing how to read or speak English, imagine. Imagine going to a new school where you didn't know anyone and you cannot speak their language. If I practice spelling words in English by saying them in Spanish, like pencil for pencil, imagine. If I collected gooey and sticky ink pens because I loved how the ink flowed like tiny rivers across soft paper, imagine. If I grabbed a handful of words I'd never heard and sprinkled them over a paragraph so I could write a magnificent story, imagine. If I stood up in a school far away from where I lived and sang for the first time in front of class, imagine. So think about what is changing for Juan. What is he excited about now? So if I started to write a poem on a skinny paper pad after school as I walked on the wide sidewalk and then finished it when I got home, imagine. If I picked up my honey-colored guitar and called out my poem every day until it turned to a song, imagine. If I gathered my many words and many more songs with both of my hands and let them fly over my mesa and turned them into a book of poems, imagine. If I stood up wearing a robe in front of my familia and many more on the high steps of the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., and read out loud and signed my poetry book like this. Poet Laureate of the United States of America. A poet laureate is a person chosen as the official poet of the United States. It's a very high honor. Look closely at the illustration. When do you think Juan Felipe Herrera received this honor? Imagine what you could do.